Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll get to the JRC in a moment. First, the disclaimer and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, all pertinent links will be right there in the description box for you. So if you want to go ahead and do a deep dive on the subject, you're absolutely free to do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity, and when we talk on places like the Dutch Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of or catch clips and surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you have a child that is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is advised. We're going back to the comments, and this one is short, sweet, and directly to the point. It says, this is a good first part. Electrocuting people because they aren't acting normally is barbaric behavior. Please sing it. Sing it to the rooftops. Okay? And also, anyone who thinks that neurotypicals act normally all the time, again, have never spent quality time inside a high school parking lot before. Just saying. Just saying is all. People call me weird. Alright, here we go. Another comment. Alright, this one states, I want the FDA to pass a rule banning the use of electric shock devices for behavioral modification. It does not make sense to hurt someone in order to get them to stop hurting themselves or others, because in doing so, you are showing that it is okay to hurt them, another person, when the person is doing the hurting does not get what they want. Thank you, baby Jesus. I have been saying that forever. Because how does it make sense that you're going to help me with self-injurious or aggressive behavior, get me to stop doing those behaviors by you hurting me instead? But I'm supposed to have a better quality of life somehow. I'm going to need some of these parents to just shut up for 5 seconds, stop making it about themselves, and think about putting themselves inside their kids' shoes for 5 minutes. Do they honestly think and believe if it was them instead of their children with the behavioral issues, and if that device was placed on them instead of their child, would they ever actually say that that device was improving their quality of life? But I'm not my son. Your son is human, Karen. It's a human question to ask. Okay? If you don't believe it would provide you with a better quality of life to deal with your issues, and God knows neurotypicals have more than just a few just like the rest of us, then why are you making your kid do it? But the doctor said, honey, allow me to tell you something I had to learn a long time ago. If what's coming out of the mouth of the doctor is something that sounds utterly abhorrent and completely psychopathic, you tell them no. I don't care what they threaten you with. They threaten you with ripping your custody away. You threaten them back with your own lawyer and say, next time I see you, my lawyer will be present. You're never going to get around this by either A, accepting and believing in the madness, or B, ignoring it and wishing it to go away. It's not going to go away because people like me are never going to let it go away. Okay? Additionally, many of the things people get punished for with shocks at the JRC are not harmful at all, such as flipping their hands or crying out in pain because of a previous shock. Use of physical punishment to stop harmless or even harmful behavior is dehumanizing and stupid. You're going to cure me of self-injurious behavior by you harming me instead of me harming me. It makes no coherent sense. None. It will never make sense. Mother of God, does nobody ever think about that? Especially the Kool-Aid drinking true believer parents. Not even dog trainers would use it on their dogs. Using it on humans should be absolutely banned. Stop the shock. Thank you, Ruth, for bringing sanity back into the conversation. Because, yeah, we could really use it these days. Just putting out there and saying. Alright, here's our next comment here, and then we'll do one more after this. This one's short and sweet. Dear Regulation Board, as an autistic individual myself, I am fully behind the restriction and ban of use of electrostimulation devices as outlined here. Short, sweet, to the point. I like it. Back in the day, if there would have been a few more people who were short and straight to the point, the way that would have made my life a lot easier. Alright, next comment. Permitting the use of these devices on any human being for behavior correction is unconscionable, and I strongly support the banning of the use of such devices. It is not effective, and it is instead harmful. Autistic people are people too. Shocker, I know, but please go with us here. And it is dehumanizing to permit such a treatment by an institution or individual. If you could all, stop treating us disabled folks, elderly, and people with mental health issues as second-class citizens, that would be great. Because, folks, remember, you're only one accident or twist of fate away into joining our ranks. Fight alongside us as though you're fighting for yourself, because you are. Okay? Just a little bit of advice. Alright, here's our next one, and yeah, we'll go ahead and finish up this page. Short and simple, please ban it. Sometimes short and simple just works. It gets the point across. Alright, here's our next one. Corporal punishment, even in its most sanitized form, is ineffective as well as cruel. As an autistic adult, I don't remember the lessons I was supposed to have learned from being struck. I remember only the pain and the fear. In my case at least, self-harming behaviors are an echo of this abuse, and an application of the lesson I did learn by it. That because I'm autistic, it is right that I be hurt. That is a lesson a lot of us autistic kids were first to swallow. I wish I was kidding. I really do wish I was kidding. Electric shocks are no different, only easier to inflict without remorse. They are not a tool for medicine, but for control. Another instrument for the exercise of the presumptive right to violence against the disabled. Go off! Go off! Somebody get me the soapbox and the megaphone. We'll put them down at the center of downtown. Don't worry, I know how to draw a crowd. Done it more than once. The way that aversives are used in practice, for instance at the Judge Rotenberg Center, confirms this. In such environments, corporal punishment is fast resort, an easy and gratifying response to bothersome behavior, harmful or not. In actual therapy environments where people work to improve quality of life of autistic people and those around them, electric shock punishments have no place. For this reason, the FDA must pass a rule banning the use of electric shock devices for behavioral modification. Please help us undo this injustice and make a world where it is safe to be autistic. I don't know if I'll ever see that world in my lifetime, folks. I don't say that to be depressing, but look what's happening here. The United States is spinning backwards so fast that in its capacity to get back to the 1950s, it is slowly twisting itself apart and sending people into factions. However, what gives me a small smidgen of hope is the reactions to this horrific type of thing going on out in the world. The fact that people aren't too scared to go out there and make their voices heard. That people are not afraid anymore to put everything on the line to speak out. Because let's face it, just about everything has already been stripped from us. We are in fuck it mode right now in regards to the uprise against our current insanity. Okay? And that is where I find hope. If we keep sounding the alarm, even if we never see it, we can at least start laying down some of the groundwork now so that the younger autistic generations coming behind us will maybe be able to get to see that world. And I'm going to do everything possible until the day I croak to try and make that happen. All right. We got one more comment to do, and then we'll go ahead and close out for this one. And then next video we'll go on to page 3. Alright, here we go. In the future, we will look back upon ECT with the same value as we currently place on ice pick lobotomies. Be on the right side of history, move forward with this ban. Okay, I'm going to have to correct you, sir. ECT and ESD, for the last damn time, are not the same thing. ECT has to do with doing shocks directly to the brain in a very controlled environment, and it's usually the patient's decision. Most doctors will run away kicking and screaming, and you want to talk about the massive amount of waivers that have to be signed by the patient in question before the idea of even talking about an appointment being set up for it can happen. Yeah. Electric skin shock devices are different. There is no protocol. That device is about pain and only about pain. Completely different from individuals using ECT. And the people who utilize that device do not give a damn whether they are horrifically hurting the individual on the other side of their remote or not. That's not what happens in an ECT room. They bend over backwards to try to ensure as much as humanly possible in the circumstances the comfort of their patient and to assist them in recovery after the ECT is done as much as humanly possible. The JRC's device is specifically designed to hurt people. These are not the same machines. These are not the same therapies. Please read up before putting comments like this. The JRC has used ECT to confuse people before, and now that everything is on the line, they're damn sure going to do it again. So think about how you comment on things, folks, because they will take it and use it. And on that note, folks, we're going to close out for this one. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. If you would be so kind, please, folks, don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Do not forget to hit the comments and double check to make sure that you are still set up to receive notifications. We're still doing the other series and we'll be starting the new ones coming up this Sunday. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you again here in a few minutes. Bye bye, everyone.